Raksha Bandhan, Rakhi Purnima. What is Raksha Bandhan? Raksha Bandhan is celebrated as an unconditional bond of love, protection, and care between a brother and a sister. It is celebrated to cherish this bond and to restore the love each has for one another. As per Sanatan Vedic Hindu culture and history, this forms a ground of evidence that even the Purans, people came closer and bonded as brother and sister through powerful ceremonies of Raksha Bandhan. The story of Raksha Bandhan is very evident as per the Purans such as Srimad Bhagavad Puran, Bhavishya Puran, Mahabharata, Ramayana, etc. Raksha Bandhan is also known as Rakhi Purnima and is a festival that falls in the holy month of Shravan in July or August on the auspicious day of the full moon, also known as shravanpurnima as per the Sanatan Vedic lunar calendar. Popular ceremony in Hinduism where a sister ties a holy thread known as a rakhi on the wrist of her brother, symbolizing that strong bond between the siblings. Rakhi Purnima, as it's also known, denotes caring and safeguarding. In Sanskrit, the word Raksha means protection and Bandhan means bond. Therefore, Raksha Bandhan is an auspicious bondage with protection. It is most symbolic interpretation of the most purest bond of love and togetherness. Raksha Purnima is also mentioned in the Purans, whereby there was a ghastly war between the thunder god Indra and the demonic king Baliraja, who administered his leadership across the earth. Lord Harinarayan Vishnu offered a divine thread to Indra's wife Sachi, who tied it on Indra's wrist, which made him win back his capital Amravati, which had been taken over by Baliraja. This story reveals deeper powers of the holy thread and the ceremony of Raksha Bandhan, which is beyond the relationship of brothers and sisters. In the Bhagavad Puran, King Bali, being unable to defeat Lord Vishnu, eventually surrendered unto his lotus feet and requested him to reside at his residence. Goddess Lakshmi was upset seeing the Lord accepting a request from the demonic King Bali, as she did not want Lord Vishnu to stay away from their residence. She therefore tied a holy thread on Baliraja's wrist, and Baliraja gladly accepted her as his sister, and in response To that, he asked her to wish for anything that he could give her. Without a second thought, she requested to get Lord Vishnu back in his or her abode. Baliraja, without fail, fulfilled her wish. This is one of the Puranic stories of how Raksha Bandhan festival came into being. In the epic Mahabharata, Lord Shri Krishna, whilst fighting and killing Shishupal, got a cut on his finger. Draupadi, the wife of the Pandavas, immediately ripped a piece of sari and covered the cut by tying it around the finger. And pleased with her action full of devotion, the Lord Sri Krishna promised to reciprocate. When she was left at stake by her husbands during the great gamble by the Pandavas against the Kauravas, she was brought to the courtyard, and the Kauravas decided to strip her. Bhagwan Shri Krishna was called in for help by Draupadi, and the Lord immediately responded and protected her chastity by supplying her clothes to her sari that never ended while being taken off her body. This is how the Lord became her brother, and people started observing Raksha Bandhan on the auspicious full moon day. There is also another famous story. Goddess Yamuna, the daughter of the sun god Surya, also known as Devi Yamuna, who flows in Mathura, always tied a sacred thread on Lord Yamraj's hand, the god of death, on the tithi of the shravanpurnima. Just very pleased with this custom, Lord Yamraj announced that any man who has a rakhi tied on his wrist by his sister would be saved. The tradition of tying rakhi on the wrist of a brother has been practiced across the nations and religions. Raksha Bandhan just celebrates unconditional bond of love, protection, and care. The significance of observing this detailed Vedic of Raksha Bandhan. A rakhi is purchased from the market, or many also create it at home. Some are very simple, some are heavily decorated, and others are spiritual significance as well. The family members prepare for rituals early in the morning, dress up nicely. Lord Ganesh and the family deity should be worshipped in the morning, preparing a plate with rakhis, kumkum powder, rice, grains, diya, aromatic incense sticks and sweets, lighting up a ghee diya, applying tilaks on the forehead of the brothers with kumkum and grains of rice, tying the rakhi on the wrist of the brother, and performing arati for the brother's safety. and offering a piece of sweet to him. After the sister ties the Rakhi and finishes the rituals, offering blessings and gifts with cash by the brother and promises to protect and support her even after marriage. The significance of the Rakhi muhurat. Rakhi muhurat means the time to perform the thread ceremony. Time plays a significant role as per the Sanatana Vedic Hindu calendar. Certain time period is considered as auspicious and certain period as inauspicious. Late afternoon is the best time during the Raksha Bandhan day, as that period is known as Aparna. If that is not available, then Pradosh time is also suitable to perform the rituals. One should always avoid performing the Rakhi Purnima during the badra period, thus considered inauspicious. There is a lot of science behind this muhurats. However, this is just a guide if anybody wants to observe it. Either way, the power of intent behind the thread is extremely auspicious and protective. Happy Raksha Bandhan. Raksha Bandhan, Rakhi Purnima. What is Raksha Bandhan? Raksha Bandhan is celebrated